TCI is brought to you by Spendthrift Stallion Arch, winner of the Southwest Stakes and Grade 1 Arkansas Derby, now participating in Spendthrift's Breed Secure program.
Welcome back to TCI, your inside track to the Triple Crown. Alongside Joel Cunningham, I'm John Siegel. Well, Joel, let's get some housekeeping done. We have one race we need to recap. It's the Bob Lewis. You know, there was a lot of hype around a horse going into this race. He really kind of disappointed, and that's Midnight Hawk.
Yeah, John, he fooled me a little bit, and that's the second time already I've been fooled this year. Unknown Road was another colt that I really thought had the potential and the pedigree to stretch out at least around 2 turns. He came up short in his bid to do that Fairgrounds. And we found out this past weekend we also have another horse that is not Derby material, and that's Midnight Hawk. So we go now to the Twin Spires TV race replay. We'll take a look at the stretch run, the Bob Lewis. And what I see here, John, I see a lot of horses that are probably more sprinter miler types that really aren't reaching out to the wire here. You got Baffert's horse on the lead here, his other horse. You got Midnight Hawk. You look at him there, just a flat performance with him in the stretch. He's up and down, clearly a one-turn type colt. So now Midnight Hawk, for me, has to come off the list. You see there, the winner, Candy Boy, he wins pretty easily, John, but it wasn't a fast race. And to me, I don't know what he beat in there. And the fact that, you know, the 2 Baffert colts, in my opinion, weren't finishing. It wasn't a dynamic stretch run. It didn't come back with a fast speed figure. And even though Candy Boy looks like he's going to stretch out and go on, he looks like a nice colt. I really wonder what kind of quality he has. I need to see more. You know, based on his past performances coming in, I still need to see more from Candy Boy. I think he can improve into a top Derby colt, but right now, the fact that he beat 2 flat horses running in the stretch, I don't give him a ton of credit for the Bob Lewis win. Quite honestly, I was more disappointed in Baffert's horses.
Well, you say you're disappointed, not totally loving Candy Boy. Let's look at the TCI top 10, and let's see how things shook out. You know, I'm interested to see where Candy Boy ranks on here. And actually, I don't even see him on the list, but I see you took Midnight Hawk completely off. Were you really that disappointed in Midnight Hawk and also, you know, kind of underwhelmed with Candy Boy?
I was, but in both accounts, and you don't get a second chance. I mean, as soon as I realized, you know, you're not going to go on and be true classic material. You know, Midnight Hawk is a horse I still think has a big future, a lot of talent there, but he's clearly not a classic horse, John. I mean, stretching out to a mile and 16th, did not run a good race, and in my opinion. He's clearly going to be a one-turn animal, so he comes completely off the list for me. And then you see Tappet Rich as well, John, another Baffert horse. Disappointing. Now, his problems aren't really stamina-related or talent-related. They're mental-related. I mean, Bob Baffert, that allowance race against Bayern, another Bob Baffert colt, I tell you what, that must have been a bittersweet thing for him. I mean, Tappet Rich is a colt that he took a lot of time in to try to really turn this colt around, run him an allowance race. He ran so poorly again. I think even though he won it with Bayern, he has to be very discouraged with Tappet Rich. And to me, I didn't like that race either. Bayern does not get in the top 10. For me, he doesn't look like a classic type colt, in my opinion, not yet anyway. But Tappet Rich, another horse coming off. So look, when's the last time you've seen Bob Baffert without a 3 in our top 10?
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Surprising, you know. And I also see here, it's worth mentioning, I see a few horses jumped in here that are new. You mentioned Hartford the last time we talked about top 10. That's not a surprise, but we see Samurai in there. He's that really impressive horse that won the Withers. Tell me what you think of him.
We didn't get to recap the Withers, John, but I was very impressed. You know, going in, I thought it was between him and Uncle Si, and it turned into a match race. Now, he always had position on Uncle Si, but he looked like he could take him at any point, and he did so. And I think there's more in the tank. He goofed around in the stretch and was on his wrong lead. I think Samrod has a huge upside. I mean, it's 2 races in a row. He's posted Brisnet numbers at 99. So, you know, for me, he's already shown around 2 turns that not only is he undefeated, but he can be a colt with a big ceiling. And I know he's a New York bred, but I just think going forward, you know, we'll learn a lot about him next time out when he runs in the Gotham. But I think he's a big-time talent for a New York bred. I think he has that pedigree. You know, watch out. Samrod's a sneaky horse for me.
Well, you mentioned big-time talent. I see here there's a big horse in Strong Mandate, Joel. He's running in the Southwest. That's going to be on Monday. Joel, I see that you bumped him up a little bit. The horse is training lights out. Tell me what you think of his chances in the Southwest.
Well, he comes out in with back-to-back bullet works. And you know, I mean, you saw him last year physically. He's a big colt, John. You look at that pedigree being by Tisnow, there's nothing about him that would have suggested precociousness. You know, you look at the colt in his frame, he looked like a horse that's definitely going to have to get around 2 turns, develop into his 3- and 4-year-old season. So the fact that he was a Grade 1 winner, as dominant as he was at Saratoga, now he got some sore shins last year, and they campaigned him hard. So at the end of the year, I don't know if we saw 100%, you know, Strong Mandate, but he got that break. Now he's showing those bullet works coming in, locally based there at Oakland. I expect him to run huge in the Southwest Stakes at a mile and 16.
Well, tell me this, Wayne Lucas has another big horse that drew, inside, and that was Will Take Charge into Dawn. Are you concerned at all, could the draw really affect Strong Mandate in this race? And if so, who do you think might upset him?
It could definitely affect him because, they're going to get, 10, 12 in this field here. I don't think, even though he's fresh, I don't think he's fast enough to carve out his own trip on the lead. He does have some tactical speed in here, but speed has done really well in this race. If you can recall, Bob Baffert shipped in, horses like Secret Circle, and, certainly had that sprinter type horse last year that took him gate to wire. This year, I think it's going to be a little bit better of a prep. I mean, I see some legitimate two-turn, potentially classic type pedigrees in here. I mean, it's also going to be the first run of the year for Tapiture. I mean, the Steve Asmussen colt. Yep. I mean, if I had to give you two horses coming from Churchill Downs that were horse for course types, I'd say Tapiture and Conquest Titan, another horse that's number 6 in our list. I thought Tapiture ran very good as a 2-year-old there, broke his maiden. Yeah, I know he didn't beat a lot there, but he has a pedigree to develop as well. So be interested to see between Strong Mandate, Tapiture. I mean, you have the local horse Tanzanite Cat that won last time out, and you have Ride on Curlin, a colt that I've never really personally liked going 2 turns. I know he's by Curlin, but he's out of a sprinting dam, and to me he looks like more of a dynamic 1-turn horse. His reputation as far as a Triple Crown horse is really on the line as well.
All right, but ultimately you think Strong Mandate gets it done?
I do. I mean, he's number 4 on the list. I mean, 2 bullet works. He should be tight enough for that 2-year-old foundation going mile and 16th. To me, I'd be very disappointed if Strong Mandate didn't run a big race in here. I think this could be a stepping stone to a huge summer for Strong Mandate.
All right, thank you, Joel. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you come back next week. We'll recap the Southwest and let you see how our top 10 shakes out.